to Dave's house and work on the Project Dirty Dime. He said he was going to wait to start this project, but he wants to get after it. We're already going to be making headway on it. It may or may not be in this video, but he is going tomorrow to get a junkyard LS and power glide so we can get the thing mocked up a while and, you know, I guess build that at some point down the road. But we're making way more progress on this truck than I thought we would. We're going to go over to Dave's house, see what we can get done on this project, and just get after it because he has a fire under his butt all of a sudden, and we're just going to get this thing knocked out as fast as we can. We'll get ready and pop this front clip off here. It's really heavy, guys. I think we're just going to rip this whole thing apart. There ain't nothing to it. Got the interior ripped out of this thing tonight. Ripped the front clip off, but it was only holding all the ratchet strap and 2 loose bolts. Dave took the wipers out. I don't know, what else did you do, Dave?
Those wipers are for your tears. I'm going to put them on your Mustang.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to have to hook the hazards up on my Mustang. I wanted to pull the bed off, but Dave don't seem too ambitious about it. I think I talked him into putting 9-inch ends on this thing so get it narrowed, some nice backspace on the wheels. But yeah, a little bit of progress. Guess tomorrow he's going to go and pick up the LS and power glide for it.
That's right.
So maybe next week we can get it mocked up in here and start making things happen, I guess. A little bit of progress on it tonight.
Alright, so we got a whole different day here. Tyler was over the other night. We ripped off the front clip here. Didn't really do much to that. Got the interior ripped out. So we realized there's a lot of water in the car, or soaked up in the floor mat there. But thankfully we were able to dry it up. Did a little test. That's just a little bit of scale. I think what I want to do, pour some Pour 15 in there, roll it around. I might just tape it off around the edges. Go right around here the whole way. The goal is I really want to preserve as much of that old, I don't even know what you want to call it, Smurf blue. I want to keep as much of that as possible just because, I don't know, it's neat looking. It's got like the cool patina on it up top there. You know, you can paint a truck. It's hard to let it rust, or it's hard to let it patina, as they would say, patina. Don't know what else to say other than that, but I want to keep it that cool look. Got myself a 6-liter LS engine. Got it from the junkyard. Picked it up for about 300 bucks. It's out of a bus, so I really don't know what to say as far as the condition. It turns over real good. The guy down there swore up and down it was in good shape. I got it cheap because the intake, as you can see, has a handful of holes in it. Not in the best shape. But, yeah, I'm about ready to tear her down. I kind of tore some of the stuff already off of it. Like, I got the water pump off and the alternator power steering. I pretty much had it, everything. I mean, the fan. Yeah, I mean, it was a bunch of junk I'm not planning on using. I guess the goal, I'm reading online, you can use these manifolds over. We're going to attempt that. I don't know how well that's going to work, but, you know, I'm sure Tyler and I can figure it out. So we want to swap these left and right. I'm going to have forward-facing manifolds coming out here. I think the goal is the alternator, I can reuse it. It's mounted up here. You can buy brackets that'll mount it down here. That'll keep it over. You can actually reuse the factory alternator with a bracket that comes off here. That's like a J-swing, or swing mount they would call it. It would use this front serpentine here. Just get a real short belt. I'm going to try that. And then the idea would be is that, depending on where the manifold comes out, I'm assuming it'd be right around here, is make a hot side, come around to here, and I'd like to mount the turbo right there, which in turn would set, you know, obviously passenger side front fender in the front of the truck there. So, yeah. Don't really know 100% what I'm doing yet. I mean, I'm kind of used to doing, you know, the diesel thing. So this is all new to me. I've always wanted to build an LS. I don't know why I didn't start with one. But yeah, I guess here we are now. So, Not quite sure how in depth I'm going to go with this thing. Part of me wants to just like strip it all down, check the heads, throw a set of head studs on it, port and polish it, and just send it. See how far I can push it. But then the other part of me is like, I should put a rotating assembly in it. So I don't know. We'll see what happens, you know. Right now, it's looking like I should just put it together and run it if I want to drive this thing anytime this year, because quite frankly, the bank account is pretty drained. But if anybody's interested, I got this thing for sale, so hit me up. I'm going to tear this thing down a little bit. I'm going to see if I can set something up to where you can actually watch me do a little bit of something. I want to clean these valleys out. It's got some garbage down in there. I can't really see too well right here. But if you look down in there, it's got some... It's a cathedral port engine. It's got some gunk down in there, so I want to see if I can get all that cleaned out. You know, I guess since the intake was all busted up, it, you know, garbage got down there. But yeah, I'll see if I can set this up somewhere. You guys can watch me tear at least the valve covers off, maybe the center section here. I would love to get the heads off, but we'll see how far we dig into it today. I learn as I go here. So I never really tore all this apart. I'm pretty mechanically inclined, but just kind of observing see what I got going on. Guess what I ought to do first is probably take these manifolds off, so I'm going to leave that alone. Oh, broke that off. Maybe I'll do it by hand. How's that? I know busting these things off is pretty common. So I guess we'll do it by hand, see if I don't bust it off. Tell you what, working on an engine out of the stand, or out of the truck actually, I should say. It's way easier. I don't get to do this too often. Kind of spoils you. Alright, got the dipstick out. One manifold down. Alright, let's go to the other side, see what we can do. Like I said, learn as we go. I never really touched on all this before. Been a Chevy guy my whole life, but new things here, dude. Look at that. Didn't bust that one off. Just that way from, I guess, just being a common failure. I guess the trick is to bust these things open by hand, then rip them off with your good old Milwaukee, or if you got some less than superior product, you can use that. But Milwaukee's where it's at. Comment below for what your favorite tools are. Gear wrench, Milwaukee, be like them. Snap-on's good, but you know, you pay for it. For being a weekend warrior like myself, why make the investment? I mean, I pretty much, you know, like I said, why waste the money? These things work just as good. Second manifold, off. Just to give you an idea what I'm talking about, these manifolds right here, the factory ones are interchangeable, so you can actually, that's how they're supposed to go from factory. You can actually take it right over here. Literally, they line right up, and then you would actually make your turbo kit off of that flange. So typically, if I was smart, I would have made sure that that flange there, where it bolts up to, is longer, come down a little further, put no tube bung in it, and then have it swing around for a T4 flange or T6 flange or whatever I end up doing. But yeah, I mean, pretty much the same things. Alright. See what else we can wrap up here. Alright, I know people might freak out. A lot of people say each push rod has its own wear pattern. You're supposed to put the push rod back in the same spot it came from. But, you know, the chances of me reusing same push rods, probably not going to happen. Valve springs and push rods are definitely in the budget. Or they will be, at least. Lifters are to be determined. I hear 50-50 mix on that. Some people say you can use the factory lifters they're good for whatever horsepower, and then other people say, no, no, get aftermarket ones. So, you know, I'm still kind of debating on what I want to do there. But whatever it's going to be fun. It's going to go fast. Alright, so I kind of want to step back a little bit and explain my reasoning for tearing this thing down. I mean, I got a ton of work to do to this chassis. I mean, it's going to take a good, I mean, it's probably going to be, I don't know. I said it's going to be about over the next year. It's going to take me to do it, but knowing Tyler and I, we thought that that was going to take us about a year, and we got it done in like 3 months. And literally this truck was this truck like a few years ago. I mean, it was literally, maybe not the front clip was off, but I mean, I got it with nothing. I mean, I guess it still has nothing, but I mean, I pretty much got it the same way. But anyways, so I got this motor from the junkyard, and the reason I'm so ambitious to tear it down, A, I love tearing down engines, it's fun, and like, basically B, this thing was sitting outside, you see the intake was broke off of it, I got it dirt cheap, and it was raining the day I picked it up. So I want to get the heads pulled off. I see there's moisture laying around things, I see junk laying down in the valley. So I kind of want to make sure this thing's okay, and I don't want moisture sitting in it for a long period of time. So if I got a problem, I'd like to go back down to the junkyard and say, hey, you know, it's got XYZ wrong with it. Is there anything we can do? And I guarantee the place I got it at, they're awesome people. I know they would take care of me. But regardless, I think it's going to be okay, but I just want to verify. I want peace of mind knowing that I'm going to have this thing sitting here for the next few months, tinkering here and there, but I don't want water sitting in there, potential water sitting in there. I don't believe there, you know, is a whole lot, if any, but, you know, like I said, peace of mind knowing whether there is or isn't. So I'm about ready to pull these heads off now. I'm going to pull these little junk brackets off I'll never use, and we'll have at it. The nice thing I learned, pretty much everything's 8, 10, 13, or 15 on this motor. It's pretty awesome. I literally have the same handful of sockets sitting in my pocket, and it's like, just keep going back and forth. It's working out pretty dang well. Alright, I was told that this is very important. I gotta save this, and I was actually informed that it's a good idea to get one for the rear of the motor too and have them run together. So probably end up doing that. Yeah, I'm really anxious to see how this all works out. Tyler's got his Mustang, which is pretty awesome, but I kind of like the idea of going through and, you know, building something a little small budget. You know, his car is pretty radical. I mean, I'm not saying the average Joe can't have a car like that, but you have to save up for some pennies. I'd like to just see how close I can get to being as fast as that thing for as cheap as possible. Well, I shouldn't say as cheap as possible. I'm pretty strict on safety. I would never ever compromise my safety or anybody else's that would be in the vehicle. You know, obviously we're going to do roll cage, 5-point harness, safe seats, all that good stuff. I want it to be fun, but I don't want to die doing it. You guys have to let everybody know what you think about us doing something other than a diesel. Is it refreshing? You guys don't like it? You know, everybody's got their opinions. But, gotta change it up every now and then. I mean, obviously I still got mine. And I got my new LML out there. I shouldn't say new, it's new to me. Tyler still has a 6.4. Probably going to be getting an engine here soon, which I'll let him disclose that information. Alright. I actually think this thing's ready to come off. So, we'll see how good of shape it's in. Alright, so I'm sitting there playing with these heads, trying to get them off, and I realize, I'm like, man, these things aren't coming off. Yada, yada, yada. There's grease caked on there, see that? There's bolts there. I'm like, dang. Well, live and learn. Figured it out. Let's see if I can pull those, I guess, what, 4 out? 5 out? We'll pull these things right off. Alright, now I got those heads off, or those bolts out. Let's just see if this thing comes off now. Be a little more successful than I was a few minutes ago. Whoa, look at that! Hey, look what happens when you take all the bolts out. Ooh, look at that. See? Look at that. That's why I wanted to tear this thing apart. And thankfully the valves were closed. And it looks like there's not next to anything down there in the pistons. I mean, everything looks pretty decent. Guess that means the valve's sealing good. But yeah, I mean, got a little bit of water down in there. I'll clean that up. See some cross hatching in there, which is good news. But yeah. Awesome. Look at that cam down in there. That'll be replaced. Yeah, so far so good. I ain't too... I'm not upset by no means, that's for sure. Alright, let's get the other side off. Now that we know what we're doing, might be a little easier. I keep thinking about this. It was in a school bus. Now when I saw this thing, the chassis was literally all cut up. There was no body on it. But I presume that it was probably like a short bus or something. I'm assuming this motor has a lot of idle hours on it. You know the old theory, loose motor is a fast motor, but yeah. We'll see how loose it is then. Don't really matter. I think what I paid for it, I made up pretty dang good. Look at that. That's not good. Look at that. I already cracked the head and water's dripping out. So I know there was water in there. Like I said, this is why I wanted to do this. I know it wasn't sitting for very long. It wasn't sitting long. They told me it was... They just got the truck in. They tore it all apart and I saw it down there. Alright, time to pull head number 2 off. I feel like this one's going to leave a puddle. Ah, yep, it totally is. Look at that. Yeah, there's some water in there. Cylinder, these 2 cylinders here have some water in them, but thankfully it don't look like it's the end of the world. The heads are super light. That's nice. Honestly, this engine compared to a diesel, it's like there's nothing to it. I don't think there's much to a diesel to begin with, but dang. Yeah, and it's got some water in it. I don't think it's going to hurt it, because I mean, I'm going to have the crank out of it. We're going to tear it all down, but you can see, you know, it's got a little bit. That's the only cylinder. Ooh, that's a nasty cylinder. I'll clean that up. Cylinder hone, get it. Like I said, these rods and pistons probably aren't going to get reused. After seeing this, I'm pretty much determined I think I'm going to do a bottom end. I thought about, if it was clean, try reusing it, but I don't know. A little janky if you ask me. I might just get, you know, a kit from Texas Speed or something like that. I think you can get a bottom or a rotated or a balanced rotating assembly for about 1,800 bucks or so. Didn't really look a whole bunch into it yet, but I know it's roughly around there. But yeah, well, we got it tore down. I might go a little further yet. I might clean this up. I think that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to clean up the cylinders here, so I have a little bit of peace of mind. But I mean, it's tore down pretty much. All right, to wrap things up here, got the heads on the workbench here, going over a little bit. Overall, I must say I'm pretty happy with it. It looks really good. Valves held the water in, so I'm guessing they're pretty well sealed. This one had a little bit of plastic, I guess, from the intake stuck in it, but I got that out. No problem. I mean, honestly, I don't think I have anything to worry about. I mean, it's all in good shape. This is what you would call the cathedral port, so if you just turn it around real quick, they have rectangle port and cathedral port. So obviously I think the truck motors, I believe all truck motors, don't hold me to that, but I believe all the truck motors have the cathedral port, which has that little point going up top there. And if it's a rectangle port head, it obviously would be like that, top and bottom. So guess I got myself a truck motor for the truck. So makes me pretty happy. And I was playing around in the bed of the truck here, and I found brand new motor mounts. There you go. So I'm going to be replacing those junk ones. Tyler and I were talking about doing solid mount motor plates, whatever, solid mount, engine mounts, but I don't know. More people I talk to just say brand new factory mounts will be okay, so I might just go that route since I already have them. I'm sure he'll contradict that, but we'll see. We'll debate on that. But anyways, I don't know where Tyler wants to end this video off, but it's kind of all I got for you guys. So slowly but surely, we'll get some progress made on this thing once we gather up some parts. You got to figure out what we're doing here. I have a friend that has a jig, so he might be narrowing this thing down for me. We picked out a 4-link. I think we found one on, I think, Summit Racing. It's a custom 4-link. So all this leaf spring goodness will be going away. Part of me thought about just doing like a mono leaf setup and paying the money to get it done, but the object is budget, and quite frankly, the mono leaf will be temporary because the end result will be 4-link. So let's just do it right the first time. Also been thinking about making a plate to cover this all up. So I'm probably going to do that here in the near future. Shouldn't be too expensive. Got to get rid of the brake booster. Got to go to a manual steer box. Yeah, we're getting there.
You guys stuck it out this long. Thanks for tuning in. Stay tuned because the Project Dirty Dime has definitely got some more parts on the way. Dave ordered some big ticket part that he's excited about, and it's going to look cool. But yeah, just stay tuned for updates. Don't forget to like and subscribe. See you later.